Radio Alice 8HA, in conjunction with Kittle Brothers, presents the highlights of the 1980 Finke Desert Race. Well, Saturday afternoon, about an hour and a quarter prior to scrutineering, talking here with the team photo centre and the manager, Mr. Damien Ryan.
How are you, Ray? We've got a few of the blokes assembled here at the moment who have come along this year to try their luck in taking out the event for Photo Centre.
Well, that's good. It's you're the only organisation, or your organisation, in fact, is the only one that is putting up a team. How many members have you got?
There's 7 members. The 8th one, Trevor Flood from Victoria, hasn't fronted us yet. We don't know what will happen. Actually, there is another team. The Honda Centre have put a team in, one in each class. As I wrote in the newspaper we printed for this year, maybe there will be a start for team racing next year.
Well, it certainly augurs well for the event if organisations can get behind the event and sponsor riders, in particular riders coming up from South Australia.
Yeah, well, South Australia's only supplied one rider this year, Greg Lutz, who's in Team Photo Centre. We've got a pretty overall side. We've got a team comprising of Barry Taylor from Alice Springs, Peter Kittle, who's our 250 chance, Alice Springs, Robert Honser on the Photo Centre YZ 400. From New South Wales, Phil Lovett on the Husqvarna. Victoria, Mark Hill, who's number 3 Australia, this year's Mr Motocross, on his Suzuki, and Greg Lutz, the only rider from South Australia, which is a bit poor on South Australia's part, I think, because they're so close.
Did you mention Barry Taylor?
Yeah, Barry Taylor, he's the 0-200 class. See, I have to try and get first in each class this year. There's a little bit of a side wager laying on the event.
Okay, we're just having a few brief words there with Damien, the manager of the Team Photo Centre. Shortly we hope to have a few words with the individual riders themselves. Robert Honser and Peter Kittle, you've checked your bikes in. Come over here, Robert. Give us a quick word. How do you expect to go this year? I know from last year you're a man of few words, so let's have a few of them.
Well, Ray, there's a lot of fellas up here this year. We'll just have to go in and do our best, I suppose.
Good. And you had a bit of bad luck going down last year with your leg. You got it trapped under the one of the guards, didn't you?
No, it was a bit of a grass clump, but I got a new one now, so it should be right.
You grew a new one. Peter Kittle, back in the event, you come down a class?
Yeah, them too fast for me now in the Unlimited. Got to go down to 250s.
Have you been doing much riding around locally with the club during the year?
No, I haven't ridden much the last 6 months.
Well, I hope all augurs well for you tomorrow. Good luck. Across to Mark Hill. Mark, you're carrying a big name in front of you up here this year. It's good to see you here. Welcome to the 1980 Finke Desert Race, and let's wish you all the best of luck. How are you going to manage to win?
Well, as I say, I'm a motocrosser, so all I can really do is give it my best. The percentage of local talent is high, of course, so I can only do my best and see how we go at the end.
Well, reputation alone, if you do your best, you're going to be up there with the best of the locals, and believe me, they do travel fast. Desperate Lovett, known not because of his riding, but apparently because of his skills in womanising. But anyway, the race tomorrow, Phil, how are you going to approach it?
Very serious now. I'm going to have a few drinks tonight and settle my nerves down and just go flat out all the way.
The biggest thing tomorrow is obviously the start. You haven't witnessed one before, but it's a Le Mans type start, and there's going to be 70 bikes vying for the lead and a terrible lot of dust, so the idea is to be up front. How far behind do you reckon you'll be after a couple of miles?
In front, I hope.
I hope you're in front. Well, you've been saying a lot about this Husqvarna. How good is it?
Well, we took it out for a run the other day and when we first arrived here, and it had a new tyre on the back at that stage and went up the road 7 kilometres on 1 litre of petrol and tore all the knobs off it. I was amazed. I've never seen this happen before in my life.
OK, well, let's hope your rubber as well as yourself holds together and you make it all the way down and all the way back. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
I hope so.
Thank you. Just joining us now, another member of the Photo Centre team. While you're swinging away there, Barry, getting ready for tomorrow, of course, how are you going to approach the race? You didn't race last year. That was unfortunate, but it did bring all the news up to you in Ward 8 there. It's a different story this year. What's happening?
Well, Ray, I suppose it's just try my hardest. That's all I'll do.
Well, what are you riding? Tell everyone about it.
PE 175, bog stock.
Well, it all went up from the crowd. I need an explanation there.
No, we just put a new tyre on it. That's all we've done, Ray.
You mean it's the identical bike that you lent to... Who rode it last year?
Des Woodbury, yeah. He ran out of fuel, so we put a big tank on it too.
Okay, we're getting there. You got a new tyre and a big tank. What else?
Nothing much else real, Ray. That's about it.
Barry Taylor, a man that speaks slowly but always with authority. Obviously not letting us know all about his secrets in the preparation that's gone into his bike for tomorrow's event. We wish you well, Barry, and hope to see you back in one piece on Monday. Thanks. Talking to Grant Petrick now, 1979, we saw you really come to the fore in motorcycle racing here in Alice Springs, Grant. You put a lot of preparation into your bike, as we all know. How do you expect to approach the event tomorrow?
Speaking for myself, I'm not too good in back stuff, and the wrist isn't any better. But my bike will be all right. I won't have any trouble with that.
Well, your wrist and your bike. All right. No, hang on. Let's get this right. Your wrist's crook, your back's crook, but your bike's okay. What's wrong with your back and your wrist?
I was doing some practice and I ran into a bullock and didn't do me any good. Bullock's a bit sore too.
Is that how you got those marks on your neck?
Yeah.
He's a born liar. We're at scrutineering, talking to Jeff Curtis. Jeff, you've put your bike and everything through?
Yeah, it's all gone through. No worries.
No worries. Well, no one's going to hear this until after the event. I personally pick you to win it this year, 1980. Wish you all the best, and I know you can go fast. Just how fast do you expect to go?
Well, I've only, an average speed's probably about 90 mile an hour. That's what most guys are going to do. But we've got to get down there at that speed, keep the bike together, and get back at the same speed.
All right, so virtually if you can stay with the leaders, or preferably just in front all the way down, to give you the sitting position on the way back, that's what you'd be looking at?
Well, I don't think I'll have any worry about staying with the leaders. They've got just as much trouble as me. We've all got to keep our bikes together. If we can keep it together on the way down, I'll have no troubles getting home.
Well, in past years, the first into the Finke, and specifically last year, for example, Peter State 4 minutes in front, no one seems to be able to wear that leader down on the leg back. So obviously you want to be up there in front, or at least 30 seconds behind.
Yeah, you've got a lot more chance if you can get in the Finke in front. You've only got to ride the same race coming home, but whether the guy behind you, he's got to ride a lot harder than he was going down, and that's fairly hard to make up that time.
Okay, well, I wish you all the best, and I hope I don't have to eat my words. See you tomorrow.
You won't have to.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Talking with Peter State, the winner of the 1979 Finke Desert Race. Peter, have you a little message there on the back of your bike for Jeff Curtis? Do you think he'll see it?
No, that was just a little joke between Jeff and myself. He wrote the one on the front.
I haven't noticed that, but let's have a look. Heavens, we won't repeat that over the air, but I'm sure any of the spectators that do listen to the program and out at the start and finish tomorrow, they'll certainly have a chance of having a look at that. I know you're very good friends. Out of the local riders, you're both favoured to be in the finish. How do you think you're going to go against Jeff?
Well, I think Finke will tell the story. If he's in front of me at Finke, I'll have a lot of trouble. But if I can get him before Finke, well, that'll be my lucky day.
Good. And I know you were so thrilled last year when the event actually finished to win it. It took you 4 years or 3 years to get that triumph, and we certainly had a good time afterwards. And do you want me to give you a ride to the show on Monday night?
No, thanks, Ray.
All the best, Peter, and I'll see you out at the start tomorrow morning.
Thanks a lot, Ray.
The man that took off to a flying start, to say the least. He established an incredible lead early in the 1979 Finke Desert Race, and we're talking to none other than Greg Lutzi. Let's have a few words for you and how you intend approaching the race here in 1980. And you are once again a member of the Team Photo Centre. Thank you very much, Damien.
Yeah, well, I did go a little bit too fast to start with last year, but this year I just hope to take it easy on the way down and keep up around with the leaders if I can, and perhaps give a little bit more coming home.
Well, let's be serious. You can't take it too easy going down there, because in past events, the first into Finke has always been the first home. Now, with the competitors, the standard of competitors that are in this year's event, and there's a lot more competition coming up from Victoria, as well as Stephen Gore, and we've got Stady, as well as Jeff Curtis, who you didn't race against this year. I think it's going to be a tremendous battle all the way down there, and I really do hope that we see about 5 or 6 riders at least within 2 minutes of each other to make it such an exciting event coming back. That remains to be seen. We can only wish you all the best. You proved your ability last year. How much riding have you done in the, in the time since June last year?
This will be the first ride I've had since about November last year. I've been in hospital, had my leg done this year. I've done little riding this year.
But you're physically fit and you're prepared for the event?
I am. The bike's prepared well. It's been tuned by Bob Eakins in South Australia, and I do feel fit myself and reasonably confident.
All right. Wish you all the best, Greg, and we'll see you at the start tomorrow. Well, we're still at scrutineering. It's about to finish, and a little undercurrent that's flowing amongst all the riders here. Everyone's seen virtually everybody else's bike checked in, and a man's just checked in riding. What's your number, Wayne?
3, Ray.
Wayne Woodbury. You've competed very well this year in the local events with the club. You are rated amongst all the other riders, and just asking around just quietly, as a very, very close second to Jeff Curtis. You're expected to be out there in front. You've got the ability. Having a look at your bike, it's been said to be one of the best prepared bikes here. Now, you tell me a little more, because I'm a little dumb and stupid.
Well, I had a pretty good scramble season. I'm a bit sick of getting second to Jeffrey, but that's the way things go. I'm really pleased with my bike. Got it geared right up. It's going really fast. I just hope I can hang on there and hang in.
Well, the actual bike looks like it's been very, very professionally turned out. Looks to have the best of everything on it. Would that be right?
Yeah, it has. I've spent a lot of money on it. Not me, my sponsor. I'd like to really thank Ella City Suzuki. Yeah, I'm really happy with my bike. It's real good.
Well, we all know your ability, and you are expected to be out there in the front, if not up with the best of them, and at the moment you're rated up there very well close to the top with the best of them. The way I see it, I do believe that there's a possibility this year of us seeing one of the closest races ever amongst the top riders.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It should be good racing this year. From here to Deep Well will be really fast. Be interesting to see who's got the fastest bike, actually. I hope I have. But just have to wait and see.
Do you think it'll hold together all the way down and all the way back?
Yeah, well, I've learned all the mistakes from the previous years. I think I've sorted it all out. Everything going well, I should finish.
Well, we look at you, say yourself. I believe Peter State might be a little underpowered. He'd probably relying on endurance there. Yourself, Jeff Curtis. Now, guys like Mark Hill and Stephen Gall, very impressive. They're very low-key guys. They're not prepared to say very much. But I think they're all going to be up there, and I personally hope that you're all coming back within, say, 60 seconds of each other.
Yeah, I really hope a local wins it. You know, it's good of these blokes to come here, but I really hope a local does win it. I hope the local is me.
Well, once again, Wayne, they themselves believe that a local will win it, because there is a lot of knowledge in going down there. You guys that have been there before, you know the corners, you know what to do, you know where the sand is, the hills, the humpy-doos, all that sort of stuff. These guys will be riding blind, but then again, they've got a lot of ability. They're up there with the top riders in Australia, so when you overcome sort of the local knowledge and then you look at natural ability, maybe that will balance itself out to the stage where you are all together.
Yeah, that's true, Ray, but I don't think you'll ever see that a first year will win Finke. Never.
Well, it'd be funny to come out first in the 1980 Finke Desert Race and also win the Rookie Award, which is open to anyone competing for the first time. Well, thanks very much for talking to us, Wayne. I wish you all the best. I see you at the finish tomorrow, and I hope to see you back in one piece and in front. Thank you.
Right, thanks a lot, Ray.
Right, we're still at scrutineering. It's about to finish. We're talking with the man with the reputation. Very nice spoken man, quiet, not letting us all know really on what he has done in the past. I've just finished speaking with Wayne Woodbury. Now, he has one of the best prepared bikes come in here. I think it's as well prepared as any of you guys that have come up from South. And just looking at it and his natural ability and speed, local knowledge, he's been down that way before, a couple of times before. I've just said to him, I think, all right, you've got the local knowledge. I think the local knowledge would possibly balance out with you guys' natural ability and what we're hoping to see you all together. Now, Mark said to me, or it has been said to me, that you're not all that familiar with riding in sand. Now, I don't believe that for one instant. You tell me.
Well, there's not a lot of sand in Melbourne or in any eastern states. You don't have a lot of sand, like deep sand like we're talking about down there. The only experience I think we've both had with sand was in the Australian titles last year in Perth at a circuit called Wanneroo. And that was sort of bottomless sand, but that's a little bit different on a motocross track because it was just 2 to 3 foot high bumps all the way around the track, and you had no chance to sit down, which was heaps rougher than what this is. You know, this is quite smooth in comparison to a normal motocross track. But just what you've got to have here is you've got to have a very good knowledge of the terrain, knowing the hazards, the dangers that are coming up, because when you're travelling at 100 mile an hour and 90 mile an hour, which some of the bikes are capable of, going down these straights, you've got to think very quickly to get the bike stopped in case you've got a hazard, a ditch or a sharp corner, which there is plenty of them out there.
All right, well, you travelled down yesterday. What's your mind doing at the moment as you're going down that track? Are you going to be trying to remember every little corner you went around, trying to figure it out that way?
No, I'll be taking the track as it comes, the course. There's a lot of things that I do remember that I wanted to remember, like danger spots, but apart from that, the rest of it I'll just take as it comes and see how it goes.
Well, I hope that we have a situation where there's anything up to 10 of you, and I think there are 10 riders in this particular field that have the capabilities of sticking very close together. So apart from the dust, I think if you're up there with the leaders, well, whatever he's doing in front, does it become any advantage to be able to watch someone if he's that close in front of you?
No, the dust is going to be a bit of a problem. It'll sort everyone out a fair bit. You won't be able to sit as close to a person as you would have liked because of the dust. But I think you'll be able to sit back far enough to be able to tell whether he's braking, diving into a corner too tight or something like that. It just depends a lot on which way the wind's blowing, how strong it is, because it'll blow the dust off the track.
Okay, we have a man here that travelled down with you, Damien. We've also got Mark Hill here. These guys are up here for the first time. They're faced with quite a task, aren't they? They've come up with a name. They have heaps of natural ability. That's something we'd never ever deny. How do you think they would be placed against local riders that have competed, coming up their third and fourth time?
Well, one thing that's just happened this afternoon, the fire brigade people have been on to us. They will be watering the first mile of the start area, which is going to be a bit of a help in the early breakaway from the line, which neither of these boys were aware of before this. Now, this is going to cut the dust down a little bit at the start, but I think once they lay out on the road, well, I think I've got the best viewpoint from the helicopter. I wouldn't like to put money anywhere as to who is going to do what, but both boys drove a vehicle each down there yesterday, so they had to drive it there and back. Nobody drove them, and well, they're both pretty hairy in a motor car. It's going to be interesting to see them on a bike.
Okay, a few comments there from Damien. Well, Stephen, I can only wish you all the best, and I do hope that you're in there right with the leaders on the way down, because I think it's important. I'm sure you're aware that first into Finke in previous years has always been first back here at the finish line, and that's mainly due to someone having a 4 or 5 minute break on someone, and that's something we've always hoped would never ever happen, that we have about 5 or 6 riders within 30 seconds to 60 seconds, and we know then that it's a race home, instead of someone riding the same race back, pacing himself and knowing that the others can't catch him.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely be out there trying to stretch a bit of a lead, but for your sake, I think you'd like everyone to get in there for about 5, finishing very close to one another. So it's a very interesting race on the way home. But, I think I'll be approaching the race trying to get a good start, get in front of the dust, and just go as fast as I can.
Okay, thanks very much for talking to us, and we'll see you down at Finke probably around about dusk tomorrow night.
Thank you.
This time we're talking to Ian Carrington and Shane Cunoth. It's good to see you back again, Ian.
Thanks very much, Ray. It's good to be here. The sun's shining, as it always is up here.
Well, I wasn't involved when you competed. You competed in the 12-hour this year, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. You're on a 250 Honda from the Honda Centre again.
And they've backed you again, and how many times have you raced in Finke so far?
Yeah, this is the 4th year, eh? And machinery's got better all the time. This time I'm on a 500 Honda in a C&J frame from America. And she's a pretty tricky handling sort of a thing, so hope to do fairly well this year, I hope.
Well, it's good. I hope you do improve. Looking around the shed, I don't think I've seen so many bikes in such good nick, and there's certainly some work gone into it, and obviously some big money, so it's good to see everyone getting behind them.
Yeah, it certainly is. The machinery up here is just getting that much better every year. All the tanks all set up, and they're looking really good.
Right, wish you all the best for tomorrow. We'll see you at the start.
Good, thanks a lot, Ray.
Shane, you heard the radio program this morning, and we did say we hope to see you make it back.
Well, that's my main objective this year, Ray, is to actually finish the race.
Well, you've seen me every year so far, or heard me, I'm sorry, saying that you've got tons of ability, you've got it, you can ride that bike like nobody else can. You're known to cross country, come off, get back on, do everything. And what I'm hoping for is to see you fly over that finish line in front, or at least not far behind this year.
Thanks a lot, Ray.
No, come on, you've got to say a bit more than that. Tell us a little about this bike. You've got a new bike over there, the Mako, number 309.
It's a 440 Magnum Mako, West German-made motorbike. It's a very competitive motorbike. I'm very pleased with it. It probably won't be as fast as many of the other bikes on the first section to deep well, but it's still got a lot of power for the rest of the track.
Well, after Deep Well, that's when the hard slogging comes in and ability, and you've been riding, and you know what it's like. How many times have you competed in Finke so far?
Oh, this is my 4th year.
Okay, 4th, and maybe the 4th and lucky one. I personally wish you all the best, and you just hang on to that bike and be back at the finish.
Thanks a lot, Ray.
John Cooper, I remember virtually standing in a nearly identical position last year and spoke to you. I called you the old man leading up to the event. It's something you didn't take offence to. You had a few good words to tell us about how you're going to win this year.
Thanks, Ray, but I think I might just hang behind all these young fellas this year. I'm getting older and slower, and their bikes are getting quicker and faster. And
look, did you keep a script from last year? Because that's exactly what you said last year. It's fantastic to see someone like yourself coming up year in and year and a half. Admittedly, what is it, the 4th or the 5th? I've forgotten. I think it's the 5th this year, isn't it? Yeah. The 5th event?
5th one, Ray. 5th one, yes, for sure. And I've enjoyed every one of them. They're not quite as friendly as they used to be, but it's still a good atmosphere.
Yeah, well, admittedly, the friendliness has gone out of it and probably a little more professionalism creeping in. But let's face it, for $1,000 you must be prepared to spend a bit of money and put some preparation into your bikes. And if you can stand in that scrutineering shed and look at those bikes, gee, there's some work gone into them.
Yes, a lot of preparation, and I've got to thank my sponsor anyhow, Chris Neck. Yeah, I've got to thank him for sure, because, you know what I mean, without him I wouldn't be here.
Well, the same applies as to you, as to Ian Carrington. It's good to see him coming all the way back every year, as well as the 12 hours he's competing in them. I can only say I wish you all the best, as I have wished everyone else, and let's see you back here on Monday in one piece.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, John. Talking this time to Kent Parkinson. Last year you amazed just about everybody. You were down in the lower class, and what did you come in?
Oh, 8th overall.
8th overall. On what size machine were you riding?
125.
On the 125. Everyone's expecting you to do as well, if possibly not a little bit better this year. I think you'd probably have a little more trouble coming in 8th overall, but you're certainly rated as a favourite to take out that class again.
Yeah, last year's not anywhere on the scale as things are this year. There's a lot more open class bikes, and they're prepared quite a bit better this year. But I hope to do well in my class, but I reckon I won't make the top 10 again this year, no way.
Well, I certainly wish you all the best, and it's good to see you coming back again. And you just make sure you're back in one piece on Monday.
Thanks.
Thank you. Scrutineering's all over. You're one of the last to check in, Phil. Good to see you back.
Thanks a lot, Ray.
And in case you're wondering who we're talking to, it's Phil Stoker. What year did you win it in, Phil?
77.
You had a bit of bad luck with the turnout of Finke coming back last year. You're up there with them. What's going to happen this year?
Well, hopefully I'll take the right turn this year, and if all goes well, bit of luck on my side, we'll be up there with them again.
Right, you've got Viv Johnson behind you again.
Yeah, Viv's terrific, you know. He's ace fueler. I'll hardly lose any time fueling, so, sort of Peter States goes straight through, but I don't think it's too much of an advantage with Viv behind me, fueling real quick.
And what do you think about guys like Mark Hill, Stephen Gall coming up from Victoria this year?
Yes, well, we'll just have to wait and see, I think. They're tremendous riders. Their reputation speaks for itself. So, but then again, it's different type of racing to what they're used to, and we've got the advantage of home ground advantage and knowledge of the terrain and country and that. So I think it sort of works out fairly even, really.
Yeah, I agree with you. Those are my sentiments that I expressed earlier. But then again, it's really good to see them all up here. The event is getting bigger and better, and the professionalism that's coming into it now with the preparation and sponsorship of bikes, you must agree, it's certainly looking a lot better than it did, say, 2 years ago.
Oh, for sure. You know, it's starting to become the biggest desert race in Australia, and I think in the years to come there'll be just about. There'll probably be a field of close on 300 in not too short a time.
Well, that's what some of the riders had to say about the event at Scrutineering on Saturday the 14th of June. On Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, 15th of June, 71 riders faced the starting gun for the 1980 Finke Desert Race. And here's how Damien Ryan saw the start as well as the run all the way through to Finke.
Well, Damien Ryan reporting from the helicopter up here over the start of the Finke Desert Race for 1980, and the start could only be described as a dam breaking apart. Stephen Gall got a brilliant start, hit the road first, is gone, would have a lead of some 100 yards over Wayne Woodbury. Phil Lovett, another good start. Mark Hill's about midfield, we see him taking some riders on now. Robert Hodges is in there in about 5th place, but we have not seen Curtis or State.
And this is how they diced all the way from Alice Springs to Finke.
Mark Hill, and I would say he'd be a mile behind Stephen Gall at this stage. A mile. There's a few blokes changing goggles at this stage. There goes Curtis. He's in about 5th place. Ian Carrington on the C&J Honda is in front of him. A bike has stopped. A bike has stopped. Well, there's been some terrible things that have happened so far. Number 26, travel all the way from Mount Isa, has seized his bike. Wayne Woodbury, following Stephen Gall, about 10 mile after the start, has seized his machine. It is locked up. You can see the mark in the ground, and I would say he is out of the event. We're very sorry to see him go. There was a lot of promise being put up by this guy. 10 mile from Rumballara. We've run across the field, the leaders again. Leading was State, possibly 300 yards over Curtis. Then the early leader, Honza, and then Phil Lovett, the ISDT rider, screaming the rest of the pack. I'd say he came through the section we watched much faster than any other rider. He said the day before yesterday that this was the section he liked, and I think he's backed his words up. Then came Mark Hill, a few riders back, Grant Petrick. Then we came across Phil Stoker, and looking good, Greg Rhodes, leader of the 250 class, Peter Kettle, then Kent Parkinson on 125. Now we're about to take off again and travel into Finke.
Well, that's exciting stuff there from Damien. It sounds that he got too excited and couldn't quite tell us enough. Forgot to push the record button on the recorder. Anyway, as they arrived in Finke, the first 10 were M. Hill, G. Curtis, R. Honza, P. State, G. Petrick, Rhodes, Woodbury, Stoker, Kittle and Winston. They were all up in the outright positions there. Leading the 250cc class was Rhodes, Kittle and Winston, and the 0 to 200cc class, Parkinson, Fiddler, Hoare and Carson. And here's Damien interviewing them on the ground as they arrived in Finke.
Here we are at the Finke end. The first rider has just got in. Can somebody please give me the time on that? The 11:03. Now, the rider's been Mark Hill, a visitor here this year from Victoria. Mark, when we saw you earlier from the helicopter, you were midfield, way down the back actually. You had 3 0 to 200 bikes in front of you. Where did you make all your ground?
Well, I got a terrible start, actually. I couldn't get my kickstarter out, and once I did get it out, I wouldn't start. So I got off the field about midfield to the last of the field, and I thought, you know, you have to be crazy to go along the load flat out when you can't see. Like, guys were passing me in so much dust, and I couldn't see. I don't know how they can see. So I thought I'd just take it easy there. Later in the field, through the tight stuff, Phil and myself, Phil Lovett, now seized, was very close through the tight stuff, actually. There was nothing in it between us. We continued on through the tight stuff, and I guess it must have been through the tight stuff that we made the final leg up.
Right, we saw you near Mount Squires. We stopped down the chopper there. Stady came through holding about 300 yards on Curtis. Then it was a good 2 minutes back to Lovett, who was really flying, and then another minute to yourself. Both of you look very confident through there. Maybe the trip down here on Friday helped you there.
I think the trip down here on Friday did help me a bit. It got me used to getting hit by trees, mainly. The trip on Friday does do a bit, actually. You get to know the soil, you get to know the terrain, you get to know everything about the course. So I think without the trip on Friday, we'd be just about had it by now.
Well, I'm one very happy sponsor at this stage. I've got you in first. Curtis has come in behind you, who has won this event twice before. He'll be a hard man to hold off tomorrow. How do you reckon you'll go?
Well, I think I'll just have to give it my best. Curtis is a good rider. I passed him halfway through, and there was nothing in it between us. It took me a lot of time to catch him. I could see him up front, and the gap never seemed to be closing. But in the end, it just sort of closed up gradually. I think it's going to be a good race back with Curtis and myself. No doubt, Stat will be in there. I think he had a bit of problems with his bike this time on the way down. I'm not sure about that.
Right. So we'll see you tomorrow at the finish. Thanks very much, Mark Hill. Talk to Jeff Curtis, who won this event in the inaugural year 76, again 78. Jeff's just arrived here at Finke. You're in second place, Jeffrey. Today we've seen some very interesting tussles from the air. You and Peter State in particular. I was surprised how the Aberg was holding you through the tight stuff, and then he seemed to pull away a bit next time we caught up with you. You happy with your ride today?
Not as happy as I'd like to be. Bike's going good on the South Road. It's running a bit rich down low, coming through the sand. I can't sort of pull it properly.
Another guy there who was pushing up behind you both well. Well, Stady was holding the lead. You were in second. Honza was a guy who got away early and got past Gall. You fellas took a while to run him down. Where'd you get him in the rough stuff?
I got him just the other side of Redinga. I had to follow his dust for a while, which makes it very hard.
Yeah, you look a pretty grubby bugger at this stage of the game.
Well, I lost my goggles down the road, and I put my spare pair on, but they flew off when I went over a bump, so I had to ride with nothing.
Well, all the best tomorrow. Only once before you've come out of Finke other than in first place. So all the best tomorrow. We'll see you home at the finish.
I hope so.
We'll be back shortly with more news from the riders on the ground at Finke with Damien.